everybody, this is Pam with Jesus Junk Journals, and I've got my cardboard out here, chipboard. So we're getting ready to do this unusual folio, and so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to build a frame for it. So I'm going to use cereal boxes or whatever. You can also buy chipboard if you want to, just something, some sort of, cardboard, chipboard. We are going to need a piece of paper off. And so what we're going to do is we're going to have the cover piece, we're going to have the spine, we're going to have the back cover, and we're going to have the infold piece that goes in. Okay, so these are all 9 inches tall. The back cover and the front cover are 6 inches wide. The spine is going to be 2 inches wide. And then this piece is also 9 inches tall, but it's only going to be 5 3/4 inches wide. Okay, so that is what we're doing. And the trick, at least in the past, and it is a junk journal, so, nothing's perfect, nothing's, it's not precision, believe me. And so don't expect precision. But one of the kind of tricky things is getting a square for your panels. And this is the only triangle I have up here, or square. But if you've got one or your husband has one in his toolbox, get the best one you have. It'll save you a lot of grief. So I'm going to get a ruler and just measure off. So I'm going to measure off 9 inches from this. I'm going to go, and this is where it gets tricky. See, these things get bumpy, and so these are probably fairly square-ish, like where they've made the box. The problem is there's a lot of leeway in that fold when you cut, and it can get kind of uneven. But you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and do that because, as I said, it's not precision. So I'm just going to cut this on the fold, and so you can kind of see that it's a little bit irregular where I cut it. Now, I could use this piece for the 2-inch spine. Let me cut this off here. I don't like that edge on it, so let me see how wide this is. Okay, so I can mark the 2 inches, and I'll put one up here somewhere. And at least get my spine off of this. And the other thing is like how wide you make your little marks and where you put your ruler. By the time you get done, it's just crazy how off it can be. And it'll still be okay. Don't worry, it'll still be all right. But again, don't expect precision because it just never seems to happen. Okay, so then we want this to be 9 inches long. And I write this on here because when you get done, you've got all these scraps of cardboard and you go to pick them up to clean up. And if you're not careful, you pick this up and throw it in the trash. So I write spine on it in the hopes that that will stop me from throwing it in the trash. I'm going to try to use this edge and make myself a square line here. Just. And then when I put the ruler here, in theory, if you give yourself a wide enough line, it should be fairly straight. So I'm going to go over here, and it's going to be 6 inches, and then 9 inches this way. And if you wanted to, you could cut this out and then use it as a template and just trace around it for your back cover. Okay, and then just move this over here. And I'm just going to bring it away from those folds because I don't like them. I don't want them on my framework. So I'm going to just bring it out and trace around it. and then cut this out, and I'll do that off camera and be right back. Okay, so I tore this green bean carton. We get our stuff at Sam's Club in cartons sometimes, so save that. And you know, they have these circles from the cans. It's fine, that's not going to show, so don't worry about that if you have those. So now this one, what I'm going to do is trace around this and then just chop off 1/4 of an inch on one end. So, where's my ruler? I have all these rulers because I can't ever seem to find them when I need them. And scissors. Okay. All right, so we're going to go 1/4 of an inch in on this. And then I'll cut this out and then I'll be back. Okay, so there's my, what I'm going to call my infold. So you'll lay them out, and I am going to use, you can use a lot of different things. I'm going to use masking tape and glue to join these together. So when this is a, you know, when this is your journal, this info will fold in like this, and you want it just a little bit smaller so it fits in there real nice. And then this is your journal. So we're going to join these all together with, I'm going to use wide masking tape. And this is another, everywhere you do something is another opportunity for it to not be straight. So I'm just going to worry about one at a time. And what I mean is like across here and across here, because it's real easy to get one just a little bit off and or one higher than the other. So take your time. And also you want to allow a good, my problem in the past has been when I don't allow enough space here. And so let me show this. I have the advantage of having this prototype here to look at. So, and just so you know, I've done like 4 of these complicated, I have another one on Etsy that's another kind of sort of complicated journal. And every time I do them, I'm just going to warn you right now, I end up pulling something apart and redoing it because I either usually I glued it too soon, and then I have to pull it back up because something else needs to go under it or here or there. So try to stay with me, and I'm going to try to tiptoe through this thing and get us through it without any mistakes. We'll see how that goes. But see, here is your hinge, and you want to have enough room where it doesn't bind up. And so by the time you get things in there, paper and tape and whatever else you end up doing, you want a good amount of room. And so I'm going to say something like that, which is, let me get a ruler and see what that comes out to. It's like, whoops. And then I move it. Hold on. So it's really almost 1/4 of an inch. Probably, pretty much is 1/4 of an inch. Okay. All right. So then it's like, make sure you've got your top and bottom where you want it. Oh boy. And then there's the glue. I'm using our glitter glue. So whatever glue you want to use. I'm not sure that masking tape lasts as long as I want it to. So that'll help. Okay, now we're going to redo what I just did. Try to get the bottom and the top straight. And so you can even see my line where I didn't even cut on it straight. So there's just a lot of variables. Okay, and then I'm going to quickly try to put my tape on. And, oh yeah. And so now I've got tape on this side. So I think I'll run some here. And anytime something bends, you want to bend it. Like this is going to bend, so we're going to glue it, and then we're going to bend it, like fold it, and make sure that it folds and bends the way you want it to, because it takes up more real estate to wrap around a curve. So you want to always make sure you fold it, don't just leave it straight. Okay, so now we're going to do the back. Okay, so there is your front and your back. Now, why is my infold? That's weird. I traced over this, and it's like 1/8 of an inch longer than the front and the back. How did that happen? Okay. All right, so what I'm going to do is lay this on the hair. That's so weird. I literally traced around this, and this is what I'm saying. This is what happens. Okay, so I'm going to mark this and then cut on the inside of that ink line. In the final scheme, it probably wouldn't make any difference and you wouldn't even notice, to be honest. So don't worry. Whatever you do, don't worry. Just use it as it is and go on about your business. Okay, there we go. So there's our frame. See that this is what I mean. So I'm going to fold it and make it be straight. And so that's another reason you want a big seam here, because you can kind of force it to fold straight. And this one, see how this is off? So I'm going to push it down and make it be square. Okay, so I think that is it for today, for this video. Get your frame built, and then we're going to come back, start to gather all your papers up. And, you know, you might want to try to coordinate your papers, a certain color scheme. You know, I kind of, it varied on this one, but I carried like this paper. The hot pinks are kind of here and there. This kind of peachy pink I like a lot. I used it in a lot of places, and so that helps it to tie together visually. So when you pick your papers, you know, I mean, you can do whatever you want. You can go all over the place and have everything different. But the greens I tried to keep, you know, in a similar sort of look. So, you know, think about that when you're picking out your papers and try to get them to coordinate. On one of my other journals I coordinated them like I did 2 of them. One was a masculine and one was a feminine. So I went to like blues and greens for one and pinks and those kind of things on the other one. Here's this one. So like this was the pink one. So, and I ended up turning it into a book of common use. But see, the pinks throughout were kind of similar. And so there's just the color scheme didn't shift a whole lot. And like here's this pink again. The brown, I repeated the papers in several places so it tied it together. And so consider that, you know, when you're planning yours out. This one was a smaller one. Okay, so anyway, get your papers figured out somewhat, and we will come back and get going on this. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.